G'day fellas, and welcome to a Nomad game. No, this is not a caster game. I mean, technically it's probably a caster game as well, but this is another Nomad game. We're here once again. I've been enjoying them a lot. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing in the pink. It's not Donati, it's actually Voldemar 1902. I got no idea what's going on right now. Voldemar's impersonating Don, Don's impersonating Voldemar. At this point in time, you know, I've got no idea who is who. I'm just looking forward to some good games, and that's what I'm expecting to see. Up in the north side of the map, playing as the Holy Roman Empire, though, we've got Crackety here on the teal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mega Random Nomad, and I'm looking forward to it. We've got ourselves quite the game for you here today. Take a look at the spawn that Crackety's got on the north side. Boar, right next to the town center. This is the dream spawn when it comes to your Holy Roman Empire start. The Boar is especially good for the Holy Roman Empire, just simply because of the fact that they get the Prelate. And the Prelate's going to buff up the gather speed here. They've got very low walking distance in the first place. Oh, that villager almost... Oh, no, the villager did go down. The Boar killed the villager. Oh, that's terrible for Crackety. Oh, that's going to be a big oof for Crackety. So I think he must have, like, not been zoomed in. Ideally, you want to be, like, zoomed in and clicking like that, but it can be hard. You have to react very quickly at the beginning of the game. Almost maybe a little bit of a mistake from Crackety not to wait for the Prelate. I think once the Prelate comes in, it might be able to out-heal the Boar's damage, but not 100% sure. It does a lot of damage very quickly. At least you could probably avoid losing a villager, that's for sure. But we do see Crackety going to be opening with a scout here, and a real surprise. Obviously, the Prelates come out as well. The same time for Voldemar on the south side of the map. It's going to be very confusing for me. I apologize if I do refer to Voldemar as Don Artie, but he's going to be he's going to be doing the same thing, going for that scout opening. And we've got ourselves a military school opening now. I think that if you're going to open military school in a matchup, the Holy Roman Empire is not the worst matchup to do it in. But at the same time, it really doesn't achieve much, does it? Because when you think about it, all right, what's the goal of those spears? Obviously, the spears, the goal is to idle the enemy. Well, who's this dude? What does he do? He just chills out, he inspires, but he also heals. And you're not really doing much when he's around. In addition to that, you try and siege down anything. Maybe you want to siege down a mining camp. Well, guess what? Emergency repair is always going to come along. Always going to keep it alive, and it's going to make you just a little bit... Well, you're not going to have as much fun. So I think if there's a matchup where you can probably neglect to go military school, obviously the English matchup is one that comes to mind. But also this matchup as well. Now I'm going to switch around those guys at the top of your screen because we do have Don, or rather we've got Voldemar, who's a little bit more over to the right side, whereas Crackety is a little bit more to the left side. So I'm curious to see what way these guys look to play at the moment. In this matchup, typically we've seen a bit of an orientation around the castle age, and that's primarily because as the Ottomans, while you can deal with men-at-arms, it's just so much easier to go to castle age rather than dealing them with the feudal age. So Sparky, obviously, they're not too bad against men-at-arms with the assistance of the meta, but yeah, if you're going up against like a Burgrave Palace, which has definitely been the meta lately, then it might be a good idea for you to think about getting castle yourself. The main key here that I'm going to be looking for Voldemar is going to be getting a crossbow mass up, and that's going to be a really key factor here for him. So it's not just about getting to the castle age and going, oh, I survived to the castle age. No, it's about surviving to the castle age and getting a crossbow mass, enough to one-shot men-at-arms. That's it. And then from there, then you need to also build a front line because you're going against Holy Roman Empire men-at-arms, which of course are much faster than your standard men-at-arms. But we do have the first unit moving across the map. Do see on the north side Crackety going to be dropping down the Archon Chapel. Another beautiful Archon Chapel here. Gets the town center. Gets double forest, and even though they are only small forests, it's still nice and able to be used as 2 lumber camps. He's also going to be able to push in the deer. Now, that was my mouse just wigging out a little bit. Have I got a hair stuck under there? You know, sometimes my mouse, it plays up on me, and I'm like, what was that? Why did that happen? So we're going to follow this guy around. I'm going to figure out what's going on with my mouse. Gonna have a little look in there, a little bit of a squiz. I don't see anything. Nothing obvious. Sometimes it can be like a little bit of dust that gets it. But we do have a bit of a scout crossing, a kiss of the scouts. On the other side of the map, it looks like we've got a Sultanani trade network coming up. Not the worst. Definitely, he's got the trade post here, so most optimal location for a market for him is going to be up here in this spot. I think a lot of people might be tempted to go something safer, like over here, but realistically, the difference between here and here, it's not a lot, but it's going to change the way your trade is calculated, that is for sure. Spearmen trying to do some work, not going to find any luck at all. Town Center going to be defending. Nice little drop off there as well for Crackety. And Crackety looking good. He's feeling good right now, I can tell. That's for sure. He'd be very happy with this. But he is going to go for a second town center. So I think second town center into Burgrave's pretty much like the standard play that you can make in this matchup, and you should be fine. The only issue is, and I've said this before, right? Like, because you think 2 TC into Burgrave. What if Voldemar just went straight fast castle, like doesn't mess around with trade, which I think he's going to try and do here. Don't mess around with trade. Go straight fast castle, send out the imams, and snipe away the enemy relics. Take 2 of the relics off the table. You've got 1 in your base, 1 behind your base, and the other one over to the west side. Very easily you could do that. So I think we will see a trend in this matchup towards a super fast castle for the Ottomans. Just simply because the military school doesn't achieve anything. You don't get anything out of the military school. Like, okay, sure, congratulations, you got a little bit of idle time. But at the end of the day, I mean, the prelate's going to heal the villagers. The mining camp's going to get repaired by emergency repairs. So there's not a lot you can do with those. So just take it all, put it into some castle age timing, and get your vizier point, get your imams out there. I think the problem is if you go for a super fast castle age, and this is kind of funny, you don't actually get your vizier point until you age up because it's too slow. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the devs could look at fixing that. Maybe make the first vizier point for the Ottomans come in a little bit sooner, just so that you can actually do it off the fast castle. I don't even know how you would do that or what you could do, but you know what? Ottomans are already pretty good. Maybe they don't need a buff. Would be nice though. Second town center is going to be coming up for Crackety. Now Voldemar going to be looking to push in. Do we see Vils? We do see Vils coming out, so this is a smart move. So he's going to be looking to deny resources, probably going to be looking to drop an outpost here on the backside. So this could be very difficult for Crackety to defend. At this point, he doesn't have a whole lot of wood in the bank, so an outpost not really going to be an option for him. He's going to be able to outspeed the enemy outpost, but it's going to be very hard for him to actually afford it. Oh, he just got enough now. But you can see he's well and truly thinking about that castle age. A lot of Vils on food. Scout going to be forced out. Take a look at this. Let's see if Crackety spots it. He doesn't actually see anything for the moment. Now, we look up towards the north, and these 6 units, they're all uncontested. He sees another spearman coming out, moving up towards that north side. Very well played there by Voldemar. And now another mill going to be thrown down here. Interesting position on the mill, but obviously wants to take advantage of this huntable deer. And look at this, the foresight. The foresight by Crackety, looking to drop down a wall. Is he going to picket fence? He's going to picket fence. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's going to picket fence. But they're already through. Oh, it's pixel perfect. The villagers are down. 30 seconds was in it. Less than 30 seconds was in it. And immediately throws down an outpost. Spearman going to be moving forward here. Looking to try and fight it out. A couple of villagers here standing by, ready to deal with it. But at the same time, this is going to be causing a bit of a slowdown here in the base of Crackety. At the same time, town center looking to attack that spearman that's just making its way through the center of the base. Outpost is going to get... Oh, and he forces the cancel from Voldemar and leaves the outpost at 90% completion. Not even 90%. What are we talking? 25 health left on that bad boy. 96%. And now another outpost comes up. Look at Crackety. He just knows. Such a smart player. He just knows that you're up to no good over there. Prelate comes out and look at this. You can say goodbye to any prospect of a villager going down, he says, as a villager is about to go down. Rest in peace, little guy. Oh gosh, Drongo. But another wall going to be coming in. Outpost does go up, and he says, you know what? We're going to kill confirm that bad boy. Or at least second Ville goes down. So he's taken out 3 workers this game. I must have missed the first one. Maybe I wasn't paying it. No, the first worker was the Boar. I didn't miss it. Don't worry. I didn't miss it. But, I mean, Crackety's held relatively well despite the fact that he lost 2 Vils. Like, that's the big issue. So, I would say, Crackety, your control with your villagers needs a little bit of work. I appreciate you're a top 20 player and infinitely better than me. But I'm just going to put that out there. Villagers now moving out. He's going to be attacking the spearmen and the rest of the villagers here on the other side and forcing them out. And it sounds like, did we hear... No, I thought I heard a landmark getting dropped down. I'm like, damn. Crackety, how you got the macro APM for that right now? For the villagers here, outnumbered. He's also got the repair coming in. He's going to look to try and focus down one of Voldemar's villagers. But behind this, what's Voldemar up to? Voldemar's trading. Look at that. So we do have the trade. So as I suspected, he would go for a safer spot. You can see this is terrible, right? 34 gold. Like, this is not even trade. he's actually trading from the coastal trade post rather than this trade post, which is much better, more efficient. But the thing is, it's not even going to increase by that much. Like, you're going from 34 gold to, like, you'd go from, this one would be like maybe 60 gold or something like that. But it's not anything like, I wouldn't be writing home about it. I wouldn't even bother telling my mum. Mum, if you're watching this, I would not tell you about gold. And you know what? Sometimes my mum does watch videos. I'm not even kidding you. The other, okay. Here's a story for you guys. We're in a bit of a lull period, so I can give you guys a story. Because both players are looking to go towards castle. At least Voldemar's kind of not going. I mean, this is more looking like he's thinking about playing feudal, which is a mistake. Don't do it, Voldemar. You want to go castle. So anyway, sometimes my mum watches my videos. And we do see 60 gold coming through on these traders, so a little bit better than the, what was it, 36 or something. Sometimes my mum watches my videos, okay? And that's okay. But I thought it was like only the beginning and she'd just come in and like the video. No, she actually watches the whole thing. So I was talking about a traumatic incident that occurred in my family life back when I think I must have been 21 years old. I remember I was 21 years old because I just come back from deployment. And and it was like, it was embedded like 17 or 18 minutes into this video, and I'm like, I'll be fine. Mum won't know that I'm mentioning this to everybody on YouTube. And anyway, she pulls me up on it. She's like, I heard what you said in your video. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, the deployment thing. I'm like, oh gosh. Oh gosh. For anybody wondering what it was about, so basically, I'd been away and I was jet lagged. I was like 4 or 5 hours jet lagged, and my mum, she was an absolute stickler for the rules, and she was like, no eating after like 10 o'clock at night. And this was a rule that she'd like put in when I was like 16 years old or something like that. And basically, I came home from deployment. I'm jet lagged. I think I was jet lagged by 4 hours, and I'm hungry as hell. And I get off the plane and I go buy some steaks and I bring them home. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm cooking some steaks." And she's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And she's like, "No, you're not. It's too late at night. It's 10:30. I'm like, "Bro?" And so I'm just like, get the hell out. Like, what is this, a joke? And so I think I just drove to McDonald's and bought myself like a pounder. Like, not even a quarter pounder, not even a double quarter pounder, like a pounder. Oh, man. They were the days, hey? They were the days. But yeah. Oh gosh, jeez. I think we've all got a traumatic. You know, I use the word traumatic very lightly, but I mean, you guys know what I mean, right? Like, I'm memeing. But anyway, let's talk a little bit more about this game. That's enough of that's enough about that. Now, the Spahi are coming out. We can see that at the moment, Voldemar's still yet to click up. He needs to try and delay this age up, and the Spahi are going to be great at doing this. He wants to make sure that he's attacking the reinforcements, but he never commits to a fight. So doing the right thing here, delaying that first man at arms, but you don't want to commit to the fight. Don't lose these Spahi. This is exactly what you want to be doing, right? And as soon as the men at arms turn around and fight you, run away, and then you come back in and annoy them. MIA going to be coming down as well. So obviously that Burgrave coming up. A little bit of a quick wall at the front as well. Might need a few more villagers unless he's going to picket fence that bad boy. And Spahi actually just going to be falling back towards his base. I would be more tempted to just look to pick up the reinforcements here. I think that's definitely a solid move from him. And now we're going to see that next Vizier point coming in. And speaking of Vizier point, did we even see what Vizier point it was? I think it must have been the Imams, right? I don't see any of the first Imam. Yeah, it's the Imams. Okay, so no surprises there. So I would expect him to go look to begin pinching some of these relics. Now, he can use these for defensive purposes, and this is actually so smart, and I expect in this matchup we'll see this a lot more. Look to take this relic very close to your base, and you can use this as a potential, not even as a potential, but as a defensive mechanism. Those men at arms come in, boom, you just hit it. Hit the Wallalol. That's all you got to do. So I would be expecting that he looks to pick this relic up and use that. He's got, how many archery ranges are we talking at the moment? 2 archery ranges, not the best. I'd love to see like around that 3 or 4, and you can see the resources he's got, so immediately throws down plenty of crossbows. We've also got knights in the queue, but you can see he's definitely starting to struggle at the moment, and this is that timing window, so a little bit late on the age up. Obviously we're playing Nomad, so you can, you know, minus 2 minutes away from that, but still, the consequence of going 2 TCs and the trade, oh, I tell you what, there's a little bit inside me that gets fearful. First of the crossbowmen are out. They do a nice job picking off. You just got to be so careful though on the defensive. Ideally, you'd even run these back to the town center. You want to put these inside the town center. You don't want to let them die. The first of the knights is going to come out. Also going to be doing a good job now. Imams need to stay alive. He can look to pick up the relic and do a Wallalol here. Let's see if he does. Second round of crossbows coming out. Remember, these guys are produced faster because of the barracks bonus that's coming through from the Ottomans. So he's producing units an extra 33% faster at the moment. So they're really coming out, but you can see that he's just getting absolutely rampaged. The consequence of only having 2 archery ranges here, and then the next 2 crossbows come out, and they just fall to their death, or run to their death almost, at the same time being idled. Only 4 villagers have gone down so far, so doing a decent job. Looking to try and hold on a little bit longer against this men-at-arm timing attack. The knight numbers are looking thick, though. This is good. Spahi also going to be coming out. Has he switched him over just yet? He's got him on crossbows. Definitely the right choice. Still spamming out crossbows. No idle villagers, or at least not a lot of idle villagers. 26, he says. Jeez, that's a lot of idle villagers. What I meant to say is that the economy's not idle yet. You can't really idle an auto player anyway, can you? But this should be a decent hold coming out. So Voldemar doing very well to keep their head above water. We can see Men-at-Arms going to be moving in on the front side as well. Still no pickup on this relic. Yo, can we talk about this relic now? Where are the imams? Did he lose the imams? No, he's got 1 imam still. I don't know why he's not picking this up and throwing this Wallalol around. Wait, he went for the backside. Why are you going for that one? Just go take this one. This one was on the front side. Anyway, the crossbow numbers are starting to move up. This is looking very good all of a sudden for Voldemar. He's been able to hold on, and he's been able to survive against this men-at-arm timing. Just needs to honestly just pull the villagers out of the town center, get them back to work. You're not doing any damage here. He's got 6 ranged armor. So just work on this crossbow mass. Keep it coming, keep it coming. We need to have our knights out as well. And this is where the Wallalol's perfect. This is it, right? Come on, bring it in. Bring the imam in. No, not there! What are you doing, Voldemar? Get it in there! Get it in nice and deep, Voldemar! Come on, brother! Oh, the kid! I tell you what, he's got a lot to learn when it comes to the Wallalol. That's for sure. He could have some training time with Salami. We can say that much. But it looks like he's got everybody back to work. He's only down 10 vils, which ain't a bad amount considering he's up against the HRE. The HRE. You guys love it when I say that word. Now, I will note he is trading, but this is not optimal trade. 60 gold a minute. It was 60 gold a trip, not optimal trade at all. Needs to move this market over here. Even then, it's only going to take him like up to, you know, basically 90, 92 gold, something like that. And that'll be par for the course, right? Like that'll be what you expect. Ideally, you would hope for an edge of map market or an edge of map trade post. But the fact that he doesn't have it, this is a massive mistake. Oh my god, this is a huge mistake. Oh, he's misplayed massively. He's got no front line at all, and he's moved out of his base. He needs to have walls up here. Oh no, Voldemar, what have you done? You've thrown everything away all of a sudden. Oh, Voldemar, this is not good. Where's the Wallalol? Where's the Wallalol? We need the Wallalol. No, get it. Get the relic. There's a relic right here. No, Voldemar, not like this. And he's going to get dove under the town center. This is too many men-at-arms. He can't deal with this unless he pops them in the town center, keeps them alive, and then the men-at-arms can siege him down. And he does put them in, but he only gets 6 in. The rest of them are going to die. At this point, honestly, your crossbow's more important than your villagers. And now he could pop them out, which he does. Good play. Needs to come back in. Looks to loop them around the other side. Is he making units? He's not making units. He's got money in the bank, but oh, there we go. Finally coming through. Little bit of a misplay. You can see how much pressure he's under. And Crackety really putting the pedal to the metal, making only men-at-arms at this point. He's up to 29, 30 men-at-arms with 10 in the queue. This guy means absolute business. And the consequence of not going for a third range, the consequence of missing out on some of that production time, and of course, no Wallalols means that Crackety is just going to overwhelm him this game. There's the Wallalol. He looks for it. He hopes to get it off. And it's going to fail. He doesn't manage to do it. A little bit too late there with the Wallalol. Just unfortunate because he had opportunities here. Really good opportunities to throw down that Wallalol. He's got the Knight out. Knight going to be able to find a couple of quick kills. He can loop on that third one as well. Mangonel coming out. But the Mangonel pretty useless, honestly. MIA actually pretty bad against the Holy Roman Empire in this matchup. You're never going to get use out of this because the Holy Roman Empire don't make ranged units. I'd almost be tempted to say, don't even think about this landmark in this matchup. But we do see the Knight coming out. There's no way he holds this again. Another Wallalol coming in. He looks to try and defend the Mangonel. Not going to find it. He still hasn't... Is he blind to this relic? There's the next Wallalol. He moves in for it. Men-at-Arms going to try and get themselves out. They managed to. And he picks it up, puts it back inside. He's going to be looking out for that next one. I think he's finally now realized... No, he still hasn't realized. He still hasn't realized that he's got a relic right here. Oh my god. I think he's blind. Voldemar's legally blind. There were 2. There's me and then there's Voldemar. Voldemar, what are you doing, son? Get it together. And now that just... Right now, Crackety's just rampaging through his base. It's not pretty. It is not pretty. He's all over it. He's like a little anthill right now, just climbing in. He's been poked and prodded, and indeed the game ends with Crackety here victorious. Fellas, go check out Voldemar. Go check out Crackety. Go check out Don as well. And of course, go check out Mr. Merlin this weekend. He's hosting a huge event, massive event, $1,000 tournament, Nomad only, world's best players. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.